Good morning, my dear children. Today in the class, we are going to study one of the most important tools of electricity, that is Kirchhoff law. Well, this Kirchhoff law is very important. It is able to, with the help of this rule, we are able to find out almost everything related with electrical network. We can find out current passing through any branch of the circuit. We can find out potential difference across any 2 points in the electrical network. We can find out the equivalent resistance of any complicated network. We can find out the value of any unknown resistance. We can find out the value of any unknown EMF, unknown potential difference, what not. This is one of the most versatile tool and can be used to find out almost everything with regard to an electrical network. So let's begin the day with the very first law, which is KCL. KCL stands for Kirchhoff's current law. It is also called as junction law. Why it is called as junction law? It is simply because this law is applicable over junctions in an electrical network. What is a junction? Junction is a point in an electrical network from where at least 3 branches originate, or we can say meeting point of at least 3 branches in any electrical network is called a junction. Trisection, that is the meeting point of 3 roads. Well, so meeting point of at least 3 branches of the circuit is called a junction, and at any junction this law is applicable. Well, this law is consequence of law of conservation of charge. That means this law is because of the fact that charge is conserved. It can neither be created nor be destroyed at any point in the circuit. So this law is consequence of law of conservation of charge. And what is the statement of the law? The statement of the law says that algebraic sum of currents over a junction in an electrical network is always 0. Summation of I is equal to 0 at junction. Algebraic sum of current over a junction 0 means sum of the current with their appropriate sign. How to decide the sign? For deciding the sign of various currents, we have sign convention. And the sign convention is like this. Incoming current given positive sign. If incoming current is given positive sign, that is the current coming towards the junction. If given positive sign, then the current going away from the junction, that is outgoing current, would be given negative sign. So this is children a point in the electrical network which is called junction. This is a point. And see, this is meeting point of 6 different branches. In this branch, current is coming towards the junction, I1. This is I2 current moving away from the junction. This is I3 current coming towards the junction. This is I4 current moving away from the junction. This is I5 coming towards, and this I6 moving away from the junction. So all these currents which are coming towards the junction, I1, I3 and I5, they all are given positive sign, and the currents I2, I4 and I6 are moving away from the junction, they all are given negative sign. And if we add them, what do we get? I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus I4 plus I5 minus I6 is equal to what? 0. If we simplify it further, these negative currents move on to the other side of this sign of equality. We get I1 plus I3 plus I5 is equal to I2 plus I4 plus I6. So this is total incoming current and this is total outgoing current. This means the current which is coming onto the junction would be same as the current moving away from the junction. Well children, when we apply this rule, we do not apply sign convention. Though we should know what is sign convention, but we do not apply this sign convention. Instead we apply this result. Which says that incoming current is equal to outgoing current. And how simple is this law? We'll see its application very shortly through this electrical network. So what do we apply? We do not apply sign convention. We straight apply this result. And in the result, what is there? Incoming current is equated with outgoing current. And what happens as the result? The number of variables in the equation, in the solution we work out remains least, and the workout remains very, very simple in that case. Well, this is an electrical network, and we are going to apply KCL in this electrical network. You can see electrical network, we have a 2 volt battery, 3 volt battery, 4 volt battery. This is 6 ohm, this is 5 ohm, this is 1 ohm resistance. Well, how to apply KCL here? Well, in any electrical network, if we wish to apply KCL, what do? We first of all imagine the skeleton of the network. Like this is a network, we make it skeleton like this. Skeleton means we just make the structure, that is the electrical network, without any resistance or battery in it. So the skeleton of this electrical network is just like this. This is a rectangle and this is a connection in between. This is again a rectangle, there is a connection between. So these are three skeleton of the same electrical network. And see, we can start from any branch with any value of current, and we have to move with that current, distributing the current such that the current approaching the junction is same as the current moving away from the junction. Like this is the skeleton, and I have started from this middle branch, I. And when we come back to the same branch where we start from, the current comes out to be same. Well, this is the middle branch, the current here I have taken as I, and if the current moves like this is the junction, and there are two ways the current can move along. If the current moving in this direction is I1, then what is current in this direction? I minus I1. If I current is coming here, I1 is moving this way, so the current in this branch is going to be I minus I1. You can see that outgoing current is equal to incoming current, and this I minus I1 moves like this and it travels like this. This I1 moves like this and it moves to this point and travels like this. And you can see this I1 and I minus I1, they are coming current, incoming current. Therefore, outgoing current has to be their sum, and their sum is what? Their sum is I, which is the current with which we started from here. Likewise here, if we start with the current I here in this side, we take current I1 in this direction, then the current left in this direction is what? I minus I1. This I1 comes from this side to this point, this current I minus I1 comes to this side. Sum total of this current has to be this, and find out their sum. Their sum is what? I. You can start from your current from anywhere. Like here, if we take current I here, I1 here, I minus I1 is the current here. So as to apply this KCL, you can start from any branch of the circuit. You go on distributing current at various junctions which come along current, and when you come back to the same branch, the current should be I. No equation is required. You don't need to form any equation. Otherwise, the calculation would be complicated. Like here, if you have written I here, and this is I1, and you write here I2, then you will have to write down an equation I is equal to I1 plus I2. So we draw the skeleton of the circuit. We ignore all batteries and resistances connected in the circuit, and we don't carry any preconceived knowledge as this battery will have current in this direction, this battery will have current in this direction, this battery will have current in this direction. Forget about everything. Just make the skeleton, take the current from any branch of the circuit, go on distributing it over junctions, and when you come back to the same branch, the current should be same. If that is the case, you have applied KCL. Well, we'll see its application, practical applications very shortly. The second law of Kirchhoff law is KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is also called as loop law or mesh law. Why? Because this law is applicable in any closed loop or closed mesh. What is closed loop or closed mesh? Closed loop or closed mesh is any non-repetitive closed path. You start from any point in an electrical network and come back to the same point without repeating any path. Then the closed path you get is called as loop or mesh. This law is consequence of law of conservation of energy. And what is the statement of the law? The statement of the law is read as algebraic sum of voltages in a closed loop oblique mesh is always 0. Summation of V is equal to 0 in a closed loop or mesh. Algebraic sum of voltages simply means sum of voltages with their appropriate sign is 0. Well, for that we have sign convention. We have sign convention to decide the sign of various type of voltages, and we all know there are two type of voltages, potential differences. Well, one is the potential difference across the terminals of the source, and other is the potential difference across resistance. So there are two type of voltages. One is the voltage which occurs across the terminals of the battery, and other is the voltage which drops across resistance. So for sources, well, the rule is mentioned here, and for resistance the rule is mentioned here. And what is this rule? See, as you move in a loop from one point to back to the same point, well, along the path, along the closed loop, we come across either batteries or resistance. And if we happen to pass across a battery like this, this is the direction in which you are moving in the loop. If you happen to pass through a battery from negative to positive terminal side, in that case, the potential difference across the terminal of the battery is given positive sign. And if we happen to pass through a battery from positive side to negative side, then the potential difference across the terminals of the battery is given negative sign. Remember, when we pass across a battery, we simply look at the polarity of the battery. Very, very important. We only look at the polarity of the battery, not the direction of current. Why? Because when we apply this law, well, Kirchhoff current law is already applied by the time we come to this law. So don't look at current, just look at the polarity of the terminals of the battery. Well, as you move in a closed loop, not only sources, there are resistances also. And if we happen to pass through resistance like this, such that your direction of motion is same as the current flowing through the resistance. If current and your direction they are parallel to each other, then potential drop across this resistance is given negative sign. Potential difference as usual is R into I. Well, if you happen to pass this way, such that the current is in what? Opposite direction, anti-parallel, in that case the potential drop across the resistance is plus IR. Well, remember, while passing through resistance, we only look at currents, direction of current. So direction of current is not looked here, it is looked here. Here we look at polarity, here we look at current. So let us straightway apply this rule in one of the simplest of the simple circuit. See this is example 1 of the day. Very, very simple. This is 100 volt battery and there are two resistances connected. Now this is the simplest circuit, and it is so simple such that there is not even a single junction in the circuit. Well, there is a closed loop, so since there is no junction, we cannot apply junction rule. If the current I is drawn from the battery, it will flow like this through this resistance as well as through this resistance. There is no junction in the circuit, which is meeting point of at least 3 branches. Well, if we apply KVL, we move from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A, and that is what is written like this in loop A, B, C, D, A. If we write like this, this simply means we are moving from A to B to C to D and then back to A. So that's how we are moving in the loop. We are starting from A, we are moving to B, then C, then D and back to A. You can make this with the help of pencil. Well, as you move from A to B, there is neither any resistance nor any battery. As you move from B to C, we come across this resistance. And see, we are moving in the same direction as the direction of current. So what is the sign of potential drop here? The sign of potential drop here would be what? Minus using this rule. Minus 30 into I. Minus 30 into I. And as you move through this resistance, again, our direction is this. Current is also flowing in the same direction. Again, the potential drop here would be what? Negative. Minus I into 70. This is minus I into 70. And as you move ahead, there is no battery, there is no resistance. Yeah, here comes battery as you move from D to A. We are moving through the battery from negative to positive side. So by this rule, from negative to positive side, this EMF of the battery will be at what? Positive side. Now, plus 100 minus 30i minus 70i is equal to 0. This is what is KVL. And if we change the side, 100 is equal to 100i, I is equal to 1 ampere. This is so simple circuit that we could have found out the value of current directly even without applying this law. So this is 100 volt and there are two resistances 70 and 30 ohm. So what is total current? Total current is total voltage upon total resistance. Total voltage is 100, total resistance is what? 100. And what is the current then? 100 upon 100 is 1 ampere. So we could have found out this real directly even without using KVL, but we have intentionally applied this law, where you can find out the answer using law as well as without using law. Well, this is example number 2, very important. These are the 3 batteries. You can see here 2 volt, 4 volt, 6 volt. This is 3 ohm, 5 ohm, 1 ohm resistance. Find the current passing through 1 ohm, 3 ohm and 5 ohm resistances. So what are we going to do? This circuit has the skeleton same as this circuit. You can start from anywhere. Suppose I start from here with current I. If we take current I here, well, and current I1 in this side, this is the junction. From here, current which moves into this direction is what? I1. Then what is current left? Current left is I minus I1, and that is what is the current flowing in this direction. So this I minus I1 comes here. This I1 moves like this and comes here. So I1 and I minus I1, their sum total is what? I. And this I moves like this, and that is what is the current we started with from this branch of the circuit. KCL is applied. How easily? Now let us apply KVL. Well, there are 3 loops. This is one closed path, we can apply KVL. And this is another closed path where we can apply KVL. And this is third closed path where we can apply KVL. And you can see there are 2 variables, I1 and I and I1 are the 2 variables. So we need to apply KVL at least twice so as to be able to find out the value of 2 variables I1 and I. Well, if we apply KVL in A, B, E, F, A, A, B, E, F, A, A, B, E, F, A, this is the loop, A, B, E, F, A. We are moving from A to B and B to E. You can make closed path with the help of your pencil, at least in the beginning. Later on you won't need to stain your diagram. You can stain your diagram with the help of pencil right in the beginning. Well, as you move from A to B, there is neither any resistance or any battery. As you move from B to C, we come across this 4 volt battery. And see, we are moving from positive to negative side. Therefore, the sign of this 4 would be what? Sign of this 4 would be what? Negative. So minus 4. Sign of this voltage would be, as per this rule, minus 4. And as we proceed ahead, see, we are moving through this resistance. The direction of current is same as the direction of current passing through these resistance. Both are parallel. Therefore, as per this rule, the potential drop here would be negative. That would be minus 5 into I minus I1. You can see here, minus 5 into I minus I1. Well, as you move this way, through this resistance, see that we are moving in this direction, but the current is flowing in the opposite direction. So as per this rule, the potential drop here would be what? Positive, and that would be plus 3 I1. And this is plus 3 I1. This is plus 3 I1. And as you move through this battery, negative to positive, by this rule, this potential difference will be what? Positive sign plus 3, that is equal to 0. This is application of KVL in this loop. Now let us apply KVL in this loop. B, C, D, E, B. Loop B, C, D, E, B. Well, as you move from B to C, C to D, D to E, and E back to B. Well, you can make this closed loop with the help of pencil. As you move from B to C, we get nothing on our way. But as we move from B to C, we come across this battery. In this battery, we are moving from positive side to negative side. Therefore, this potential difference will be what sign? Negative side, as per this rule. As we move through this resistance, we are moving in the direction opposite of the current. Therefore, this potential drop across this would be what? Positive, as per this rule, and the value would be what? Plus 1 into I. This is plus 1 into I. Now, as you move through this resistance, see again, the current is flowing here in this direction and we are moving in the opposite direction. Therefore, the potential drop here would be what? Positive. And that would be 5 into I minus I1. 5 into I minus I1, that is positive. And as you move through this battery from negative to positive side, this is negative to positive side. As per this rule, this potential difference would be positive. Plus 4 is equal to 0. So we have applied KVL in 2 different loops, and that way we have followed 2 different relations between I and I1. So there are 2 variables and there are 2 equations. We can solve them for I, I1, I1, I2, I, I1 and I1 and I minus I1. See, if any of these currents which we have marked blindly without looking at the batteries comes out to be negative, that simply means the current in the circuit is flowing actually in opposite direction. The current which you have marked is not same as the direction of current, it is just opposite. In case the current comes out to be negative, and if the current comes out to be positive, that means the direction of current you have marked is correct. See, you are marking the direction of current blindly without looking at which battery is bigger, which battery is smaller. So positive value of current which you come across as answer are they represent the true direction of current, and negative value of current represents the current in opposite direction. Well, this is another circuit where we are supposed to find out the current through E1 and E2. Well, I have applied KVL here. This is I1. I have taken I2 from here. The sum of these two would be I1 plus I2 here. We apply KVL in loop A, B, E, F, A. So we apply this rule here in this loop. We get minus 2 as we move this way. This would be plus 2 I2. This would be minus 2 I1, and this is plus 4 is equal to 0. Applying this rule. And in this loop B, C, D, E, B. In this loop we apply KVL. We get this relation. We solve both the equation for I1 and I2, and what do we get? We get I1 as 2 by 3, and we get I2 as what? Minus 1 by 3. This simply means the I1, the direction of current which is marked by us. I have marked the direction of current, and that direction is the correct direction of current. But this I2 which is coming out to be minus 1 by 3 is actually not in this direction, it is in fact moving in this direction. So negative direction of current, negative value of current indicates that the current in the circuit is actually in opposite direction, not the direction which you have taken. So I hope I am able to make myself clear. So we have studied two different laws, KVL and KCL. So we come to the end of today's class. We'll meet again. Thank you very much. God bless you all.